Yeah, yeah.
Welcome to the Casual Preppers Podcast. Here are your hosts, Cam and Kobe.
Welcome to the Casual Preppers Podcast, the only place for prepping, survival, and entertainment. We're your hosts, Cameron and Kobe, and we are ready to bring survival goodness direct to your dirty little ear holes.
You think that first part got through?
Oh, yeah, I guarantee. Game was like just...
Kobe laughed, and then I tried to copy, and he just pushes the button.
Yeah.
Every time.
Every time. That's all right, though. What's going on, Cameron?
Well, I'm just going to do a podcast about war and stuff.
What is it good for?
Well,
Absolutely
good
nothing.
for?
Yeah, World War III Part Two.
That makes sense.
It's hard to say, but that's what it is, right?
World War Trace Part 2.
Yeah, that's what I said. So we're talking about we had the second half, or the first half a few episodes ago. This is the second half of it all, and we're excited.
Yeah.
Right?
This is how you're going to live through it.
Yeah.
This is what you need to prepare for.
There's
the other stuff,
Yeah.
you know now.
There's a
What
lot.
could happen.
This might get a little crazy because there's so much information that we're trying to pack in here, so we'll just see how it goes.
It's not going to go good.
Cam's already predicting it's not going to be good. Just like World War III, not going to be good.
No.
Guys, but today's podcast is brought to you by TacPack, the only monthly tactical subscription box with useful professional grade stuff inside. Get 10% off your first TacPack with our code CasualPreppers at TacPack.com and join the thousands of satisfied subscribers today. That's 10% off with our code CasualPreppers at TacPack.com.
Oh, not that prepared for TacPack.
Exactly.
Listener reviews starts now.
Take it, buddy. Take it.
Nice shiz.
That's the name of it, right?
Nice shiz.
Yeah.
Prepping made interesting and not from the condescending D-bag. Love the show. Just found you guys and I'm pretty stoked. Hey, you got a hairy butthole too. Pound it, buddy. Pound it. This show is informative and at the same time like hanging out with friends at work. That's exactly what this is supposed to be like.
Yeah.
Thumbs up, two thumbs up.
From Bigfoot Little Boat on Apple
I don't
Podcasts.
know where you found that. Bigfoot's good. Little boat. Big.
Well, a little boat. I got a Bigfoot. And I'm going to Bigfoot.
Who
little
has
boat.
Bigfoot, big boat? Dang it.
Thanks, guys. But if you want to be a part of this portion of the podcast, go to iTunes, go to Facebook, go to the Kindle book on Amazon, leave us a 5-star review, and make it awesome.
It's a mad, mad world.
So, Cam, do you remember Fukushima?
I do.
Fukushima. Remember that whole Fukushima
I
disaster?
got a real nice computer from Fukushima.
I got a dot matrix printer from that Fukushima company.
That's what it sounds
That
like.
is what it sounds like. Huh?
Real nice scanner from Fukushima.
Scanner. So obviously they have some issues over there. What was that like?
Still have some issues.
Yeah, still have some issues. That was like 2011, right?
Yeah.
2011? Is that right? Around there. So listen to this.
When was it?
I don't know.
10. I think it
2010?
was 2010. Maybe
Was
it's
it?
not. Maybe it's 11.
I don't friggin' know.
It doesn't matter.
Google it.
We weren't there.
We weren't there. We were over here. A Japanese government panel on Friday roughly accepted a draft proposal for releasing into the sea massive amounts of radioactive water now being stored at the tsunami-wrecked Fukushima nuclear power plant. So I read this and I'm like, is this like a normal thing? And apparently it kind of is a normal
That's
thing.
so good.
I know.
So good.
So it says the Economy and Industries Ministry draft proposal said releasing the water gradually into the sea was safer and a more feasible method, though evaporation was also a proven method used after the 79 Three Mile Island accident. So to me, evaporation seems like it's safer, but it's probably not. But so
I'm not a nuclear scientist.
I'm not. The water has been treated, they say, and all 62 radioactive elements it contains can be removed to levels not harmful to humans, which is crazy, which is good, except for tritium. Tritium's still in there.
Precious tritium.
Yeah.
It's on Spider-Man.
Yeah. Experts say there is no established method to fully separate tritium from water, but it is not a problem in small amounts. I don't get this. I can't
So
believe.
you know what freaked me out about this is they've known it forever. So by the way, tritium we've never known what to do with it.
Yeah.
So we've had nuclear power for how long? I'm like, okay.
Well, we got like 99% of everything else out, so don't worry about it. It should be fine.
Oh man.
So I find that just insane.
What is tritium? Isn't it like H3 or something like that? Hummer?
No. Don't ask me stupid questions like
It's
that.
something like extra. Yeah. Anyway,
Extra.
I remember reading. It's like an extra. Is it a neutron or a proton? One of those things. I am definitely not going to try and sound smart right now because I'm not smart.
Yeah, I couldn't tell you, man. I have no idea.
But I remember being like, "Oh, that's all it is." It was something simple, but it had like a cool name. But I'm glad we're drinking it. And
Yeah, I know.
Isn't it the same as like I have 50 gallons of water, piss a little in it?
Yeah, I know. It's the same
It's
thing.
not going to give you any problems.
Don't worry about it. The fish
little,
love it.
a little bit's fine,
Yeah.
except for that one part.
Yeah. Took a crap in the pool. Don't worry.
There's a lot of pool.
There's
and
way
a
more
little
pool
bit of
than
crap.
poop. There's way more pool than poop in there. Just go for
stir
it.
it around,
That makes it worse.
breaks it all up, and dissolves it.
That makes it way worse.
You know they've been releasing this
Oh,
before
yeah.
thave even
Oh, for
said.
sure.
We've thought about it. Is it okay?
No,
Because we've already released.
You're supposed to use a
10,000
Japanese accent.
Oh, yeah.
But you can't.
No, I can't.
We got a review the other day saying that we're like.
Oh yeah, we offended
we're-
somebody's dad.
We did offend somebody's dad. We're like,
I think we offended him. His dad doesn't know what's going on.
His whole damn ancestry's pissed off at us right now because we used the Chinese accent.
Yep, we did. We'll refrain from that.
No, we won't. We probably won't.
But the rednecks don't seem to be bothered one bit by it.
Not one redneck's like, my daddy sounded like that growing up. You done offended me.
I know.
You know what I mean?
You just said don't. Dang. And I ain't going to hear it anymore. Done.
Gone. Yeah. Anyways.
Turned off my Windows mobile phone.
Windows mobile phone.
When did they stop making the
I don't know.
Windows operating? Anyway, okay. This one hit close to home.
Did it?
And it's part of kind of today's thing. So researchers discovered that hackers could take control of Hue light bulb and install malicious firmware.
In your light bulb?
Yeah. They'd be able to mess with the light, changing color and brightness. And if a user tried to reset the bulb by deleting it from the app, then reconnecting it, the hackers would be able to deploy malicious firmware into the Zigbee protocol to connect to the targeting. And then by that point in your network, you just tack a business and tack a home network.
Holy fudge.
Finally, the hackers would be able to spread ransomware and spyware through the network.
That's the
That's how I
network.
spelled it. But through a freaking light bulb, man.
That's crazy.
But I'm like, the control of the lights makes me laugh.
That's
just
what I
like,
was thinking too.
my wife would be mad. Making out. Hey, the lights got turned on.
Well, what's it going on?
Oh, dang it. Who turned those on? Hackers.
Down the hackers.
I'm just
again.
going to blame it all on the hackers every time.
That's crazy. That's a weird thing, man.
It's just like,
That's a really weird thing.
your lights could just look like a disco party
Freaking
going on in your house.
Discotheque in here.
What's going on in here?
Yeah, that's crazy, man. Yeah, I mean, those things are scary.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, just recently, too, one of those security cams, like connected to that girl's room, was like, hey, little
I know.
girl.
Yeah, like my worst nightmare when I'm a little kid right
It's
there.
the worst.
Like,
Can you imagine just playing and all of a sudden,
I would still be awake right
see
now.
you.
I wouldn't have slept for 30 freaking years if that happened to me. In my room by myself, somebody starts talking to me, I'm done.
what are you playing with?
I like your Legos.
Yeah, what you doing?
Yeah, man, that's crazy.
You like popsicles?
You like the popsicle?
You like push pops? Yeah, anyway.
I'll push you, pop, baby.
Oh, I gotta go. Your mom's coming.
My wife's coming. I mean, your mom. So let's go to what we're here for, and that is World War III. This is the second part. We're talking about
Protecting your light bulbs from hackers.
That's what this whole episode's about. Is
yeah, we're gonna go into details.
keep your light bulbs safe. So World War III, what could it look like? I mean, there's a lot of different scenarios.
Probably gonna involve Earth
Yeah, the
and
world,
some other people on different planets.
death.
On different planets. I just said on different continents is what I meant.
Oh, different planets. Yeah,
it could be.
It could. You never know.
Wood. Oh my gosh. I had a small stroke on the way to work today.
It hasn't quite cleared up yet.
It's breaking up.
By noon, she should be good.
Left hand started working about 10. Able to wipe my butt.
I'm dragging my right foot still, but we'll be all right.
Speaking of, this is totally random. Did I tell you about? I think I told you about that guy at the carpal tunnel. He's like, I ain't getting it fixed because that's the hand I wipe with.
Oh, yeah,
was
you
like,
did tell me something about that.
I can't wipe the other one.
I don't
Too hard.
Yeah, I don't
Anyway.
know, man. It's a good time to learn to be ambidextrous in that area, right? It's just a chance to do it.
Or just use the back of your hand. It's limp and numb.
Just use the cast. Whatever you got to do, man.
Okay.
Anyways, okay, so let's look at what this war could look like. What if it's a nuclear war? And you
Very
know
good
what?
chance. Very good chance.
I think the chances are pretty dang high
do
of
too.
it becoming a nuclear war. Did you know there's about 15,000 nuclear warheads around? They're just chilling.
You said it somewhere. In
I probably
a
said
podcast.
something like that. It could have been a different number, so I should have double checked that. But there's a lot of nuclear warheads.
Like 15,000 off.
Yeah.
Somewhere around.
There's a lot of them hanging around. Basically, so if we get into a World War III scenario, and we talked about, what are you laughing at?
Hanging around.
Yeah, they're just chilling.
I walked over one at Walmart.
Yeah.
It's on the bottom shelf.
Got one on layaway. So we've talked about all the different players that could be involved. Russia, is it China, is it North Korea? All of in any of those scenarios, nukes are very highly likely to be involved. What are you laughing
I
at?
farted. I was like,
Okay.
hope you don't smell that.
Get it out of here, man. Okay. So
Okay, it's getting way out of
this
control.
is
I'm
getting out
sorry.
of
I'm
control.
sorry.
So in a nuclear war, there's a lot of, we've talked about this. We had an episode way back in the day about surviving a nuclear war. The blasts are obviously devastating when these happen, right, Cameron?
It's been a while since we've done the
It's been a really long time.
But that was a fun episode.
It definitely was. So the blasts are bad. I mean, you drop one in New York, a lot of people died like immediately, right? But the aftermath is almost worse in these scenarios. And if it comes to a World War III scenario, it's not like there's going to be like back in World War II where we drop one, right? It's
No,
not
yeah.
going to happen that way.
Yeah.
It's going to be somebody drops one, the next person drops one, and then all freaking hell breaks loose. And
Maybe like carpet bombing with atomic bombs.
It's not good. So you have to worry about the fallout afterwards. You have to worry about a nuclear winter, and we'll talk about that because that to me is one of the scariest things about.
Yeah, it just destroys everything.
Yeah. So what can you
Long
do
term.
right now to sort of start prepping for a scenario like this? There's a few
Trade
things.
in your nukes.
Trade them in, yeah, get something else. You need to worry about shelter. This one, I mean, if you have a bunker, obviously fantastic. You've done well. You get a gold star from the prepper teacher.
I'll give you a gold star.
Yeah. But most people don't have one of those or a fallout shelter or anything like that. So if you have something in your basement, a basement is actually really helpful in one of these scenarios. And especially if you have a room that's on the interior that doesn't have an outside wall, that's where you're going to want to be for the duration of World War III if it turns nuclear, right? So after an attack,
It's like an Inception house.
yeah,
A house within a house.
a house within a house, a dream within a dream within a dream. So if this attack happens, you're going to want to get down to this fallout shelter or this room in your basement as quickly as you possibly can. And that depends on if you haven't already gotten
can beat the
incinerated.
blast.
Yeah, if you haven't gotten incinerated, you're doing good, but it's not going to be fun for the next little while. You're going to want to stay there for like 48 hours and don't leave that room unless absolutely necessary. In this, we talked about this in the episode. It all very much depends on how far you are away from the blast zone, like how much radiation. I'm not going to go into all that, but just know that if it's close, you have to deal with the radiation. You have to deal with the fallout. But 48 hours, don't leave. Don't even think about it. Just stay there no matter what for 2 straight days. So if that's going to happen, you obviously have to have food and water, right? So you need to have food and water prep for that. And it's a little scary there too, because do you have to keep it sealed in some way?
I think you just have to keep it away from contact with the walls on the outside because it can penetrate through.
Exactly. So it's very tricky.
It's very backwards. Like, I don't think I understood. Oh, I didn't. Like before we did that episode, I was like, man, it's weird. It seems so backwards. Like you want to be like if you're in a a skyscraper. You want to be like in the middle.
In the middle, yeah.
So like keep
That's
away
your
from
safest place.
all of the
as many
fallout.
layers as you can get between you and the outside
That's the
air
best way to-
is going to be the best thing, right? So food and water, you obviously have to have a lot of that, but you probably want to keep it protected away from those outside walls. You know, if it happens and there's a blast, move that into the interior of the room, cover it with some plastic, do whatever you can to keep it as safe as possible.
Not that big of a deal because tritium's already in it.
Yeah, we already got that. So obviously having communication, a radio to listen to in case there's broadcasts coming through so you can get as much information as possible. When you're holed up for 48 hours in your basement because of World War III and it's a nuclear war, you're going to want to know what the hell's going on outside.
Yeah.
And so you need to make sure that you have those things. Is it a ham radio? Is it, just a regular emergency radio? Have those things ready to go. We've talked about this several times, potassium iodide. They are pretty critical after an attack like this. Cam probably knows this a lot better than I do, but your thyroid gland is very susceptible to radiation. And so basically what the potassium iodide does, if I figured this out correctly, is it fills up that your thyroid or something with that, and so there's less chance of the radiation getting in, something to that effect.
Yeah.
But just have that because that's one of the first things that's going to happen is that thyroid is going to get infected with that. Well, not infected, but the radiation is going to get in there, right?
The organs, the cells are. It's just. I'm not going to go into physiology.
It's really, yeah.
Just protect it.
But really, that's something that's relatively cheap. You can actually get a pack of 3.
I need to get another one.
You can get a pack of 3 on Amazon for $22.
Yeah.
And so, if there's 3 of you in your family, you're good to go. You have a dose for everybody.
Yeah.
So
watch Chernobyl on HBO.
Yeah.
Just because, no, that's not a nuclear attack, but that would be more what
scenarios.
you were going to deal with, the aftermath.
Yeah.
That's how they.
And it's not good.
No.
It's not good. No.
Not at all.
Obviously, having an NBC, a nuclear biological chemical mask, or a CBRN rated mask is going to be super helpful, and you're going to be happy that you had it in one of these scenarios. We've talked about hazmat type suits. Those are also great, especially if you need to go outside for the next few weeks. The radiation could be bad enough. So you can actually get those Tyvek suits for really inexpensive prices. So think about that.
We were just looking at it in the clinic for the coronavirus, like a real good suit that protects from everything.
Uh-huh.
If you really want to go to the tippy top with it, like an affordable, but it's like $800.
Hey, geez Louise.
Still,
Yeah. I don't think
they
I'd
probably
ever
never
spend that
get
much.
used, and then when you use it, be like crack open.
Oh, yeah.
Oh crap.
That's why I think if you can get at least one of those inexpensive ones, at least you've got some
That's
coverage.
what most
you know
people
what I mean?
over in China are using. Just those
Exactly.
little cheapos.
And they're all dying. So
They look like
there's that.
painters walking around.
Yep. Duct tape is another good thing you need to have. Along with the Visqueen or the plastic rolls, because as much as you can during this time, you're going to want to seal off the room as much as possible. So think about that. It's nice to have like those rad stickers or those rad cards. Basically, they are a little personal radiation exposure device that you can see how much radiation you've been exposed to. Pretty nice to have those so you're not worrying about it. If those look good, you're like, okay, I'm okay where I'm at. I don't really need to change anything. So something to be thinking about. Also, like a radiation detector or a Geiger-meter, all those types of things to check for radiation. So those are just a few things.
It's a freaking complicated mess. Like
it is a huge, complicated mess.
You're guaranteed power loss.
Yeah, well, yeah.
And
I mean,
lights
that's just a piece
and
of it.
energy, and
Yeah.
it's like, how do you get your generator and then get the exhaust out of your house? Like, it's so freaky.
There's so many
You
things.
definitely got to prepare for the.
And this is beyond just the blast
know,
and all that kind of stuff.
is.
So it's so crazy.
worst case.
Another thing is a nuclear winter, and this obviously is a bad thing.
Isn't a cool name.
It's yeah.
not a gamer tag.
So basically, it's a worldwide darkening and cooling of the atmosphere with consequent devastation of life forms believed to be probable outcome of a large-scale nuclear war. So basically, there's so many nukes that are used in a short amount of time. There's fires, there's smoke, there's ash, there's debris. What this does is blocks out the sun, and it lowers the temperature on Earth. And that's bad. Everything on Earth, the life needs sunlight. So it basically becomes a really bad scenario. Something similar to this has happened in the past.
Yeah.
1883, the eruption of the Indonesian volcano Krakatoa. It blasted enough volcanic ash in the atmosphere to lower global temperatures by 2.2 degrees for an entire year.
That's
so
insane.
it's really similar to what could happen in a nuclear winter.
I think that's the best way to.
Yeah. In 1815, the eruption of Mount Tambora, it blocked enough sunlight around the globe to cause what was known as the year without summer. And we've talked about that before, too, I think.
That's weird. If you look at like other historical events and things, this is always like part of that.
Yeah.
Like a journal entry or something. It's like this summer, we lost our crops, and it's like obviously across the globe.
And a lot of people didn't know why.
No.
That's
and
the
it was
crazy
just like,
thing.
why is there summer? Why are we getting snow in July?
Yeah.
And
Oh, man, that would be so freaky.
it would be.
But anyways, something really similar could happen. The following year, residents in the United States experienced summer snows, temperatures between 5 and 10 degrees cooler than average. And the crops were devastated. There was hundreds of thousands of deaths just from this. So this is just an aftermath of a nuclear war. So that
It makes you wonder if like multiple nukes, like
oh my gosh, what would it do?
volcanoes are going to start erupting.
I know. What's going to happen? Also, at
We'll
the
die. We'll all die.
end of the Persian Gulf War in 91, Saddam Hussein torched 736 Kuwaiti oil wells. The fires lasted for 9 months. This is really insane, during which the average local air temperatures fell by 18.3 degrees.
Wow.
If that is like factual,
It's so-
this information I
So
found.
backwards. You would
Yeah.
think with all the fires it'd be hot, but
It's
it's
not.
clouded up.
Exactly.
Blocked the sun. They probably
So-
enjoyed it over there.
So to survive this, it's obviously a very difficult situation because there's some other things that happen. There's an ozone depletion that happens, and the reason there's a weird scientific reason why that happens, but the ozone gets depleted because of all this stuff in the air. So basically,
Oh.
ozone, the UV radiation is much worse. So basically, going outside.
Oh.
You're going to get,
interesting.
So you're going to want to cover your skin.
So if your skin has been blasted off,
Yeah.
then you're exposed to
It's even worse, yeah.
the sun.
Cover your skin as much as you can in a nuclear winter. You want to have hats, gloves, long sleeves, long pants. Cover your eyes. You need UV protective glasses because your eyes are going to get jacked up with that much UV radiation out there. You're going to want to stock up on the sunscreen with really high SPF protection because it's going to be bad. And also the temperatures are going to drop like we talked about. So you're going to have extra warm clothing, heating sources. You're going to want to have lots of ways to start a fire because you're going to need to do it. It's just freaks. It's
That's a
just
bit of a nightmare.
It's a huge nightmare.
Just a little bit of it.
Yeah, I mean, nuclear war is like the absolute worst thing that could happen.
It really
if
is.
you ask me, it is the
Weird,
worst thing.
devastating, and
Yeah.
it's like a ripple effect for
Yep.
years
For a
and
long
years
time.
and years.
Yeah. And so we talked about having those gas masks. The air is going to be full of debris. It's going to be full of radiation. It's going to be full of lots of bad stuff for quite some time. And it's going to be hard to know when it's safe. So having at least an N95, that's not going to cut it, but at least you've got something,
Yeah.
Also, because of this situation, food is going to be super scarce because crops are going to fail. And so you need to have your food and your water preps as much as you possibly can in this situation. So that's just one of the scenarios that might happen in World War III, nuclear war. And we started with that because that one seems to be the worst.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
It really is.
Freaks me out.
It's just too devastating.
Yeah.
So totally worth whoever, whatever enemy.
Yeah.
Or hopefully not us. Fires.
I know. That's what I'm saying. It could be, it's going to be all of us.
And
if it
it's
happens.
just going to just forever and ever ruin Earth. I think this is probably another super highly likely war is
Yeah.
a cyber war.
Cyber war. And you know what? We talk about these as separate things. It's going to be a combination
so,
of
too.
all of these
It is.
when it happens, probably.
So, just like I was talking about in the mad world, like there's hackers hacking into light bulbs now. Like,
Yeah,
you know,
they're going to start hacking into your fridge. I mean,
seriously,
With
no,
the-
there's so much
Yeah.
smart technology
with the
that-
Internet of Things, like everything's connected to the internet. Everything can be hacked.
Yeah, you're gonna have your freezer slam on your hand.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
why'd you order 4,000?
Yeah,
popsicles?
all that elk meat you got in your freezer, somebody
yeah.
could just make it go bad. I
Seriously,
mean, it's
like
crazy.
it would be horrible. Air conditioner kick on middle of winter.
Yeah, not good.
Kill you overnight.
Yeah.
I just like the last week signed into a game I haven't been in a while. I'm like, oh, let's check this game out. I couldn't get in, and I had to go and reset. And when I got in, it was all in Russian.
Was that
changed? It was Grand Theft.
Grand Theft, right? Yeah, you
I
told
was
me
like,
about
I just
that.
want to check this out.
Yeah.
And yeah, it was all like all of the stuff had been changed to Russian. So some Russian dude had got in there.
That's crazy.
Luckily, I got it back and had a
Oh.
bunch of cars and money.
Thank goodness.
Yeah, I don't want to lose that game.
Bunch of AKs.
Such a nice game for kids. And
Yeah.
but simple stuff like we see it every day. Hack into, you know, what just recently Experian. Freaking one of the places I thought should have had the biggest security system for all of our credit and history hacked into. So we know Russia has a huge focus on this, and so does China. And, you know, probably all of our biggest enemies are like highly focused on this. Why? Because our country's like all into the smart technology and automated stuff. It's a perfect way to attack a country that's
China,
you know, instead of like a third world country.
Yeah.
It's like you attack a top country with its own.
Maybe that's why China keeps kicking that stuff out.
I'm
They're
telling you,
the
man.
Americans will buy
I'm
it.
already a little concerned that some of my home cameras are China made.
Dude, I don't know, man. It's scary.
It is kind of scary. I have camera.
Do you like it? Never mind.
How many times you been in the bathroom? Yeah, your wife's on. There's a
Ask her.
Chinese again that sounds like a redneck. They're working for him, I guess.
Yeah, probably.
So yeah, it's not just like a computer to computer thing. Like a lot of people think it's just like, oh, it's going to hack into my computer and cause issues. No, they can get into anything. Just like you were talking with, like the nuclear war freaks me out. But one thing is there are 449 operable power reactors in the world.
Yeah.
And that's like, there's been obvious focus and even documented occurrences where they've gotten into the computer system in a power plant. Like they kind of let them in.
Yeah. And so that's the thing, because I put something about this up on Instagram or something the other day, and people are like, well, no, look, I work at one of these places. These things are kept on the internet, so you can't hack into them. Like, well, yes, you can't like just, you know, hop on the dark web and hack into them, but there's people that are coming in constantly working on it.
Exactly.
And like, who says they can't bring in a USB?
We find spies today all the time.
Yeah.
Like,
well, what was it? Stuxnet, the way.
Yep, exactly.
Because they got in like
'Cause it
through
was
the
like a
printers or something, didn't they?
Yeah,
it was like a crazy deal.
Yeah, and that was one thing I'd like mentioned down here is we talked about the Stuxnet. Wasn't it to hijack the Iran? They were
They're centrifuges. Yeah,
centrifuges.
So, so they were spinning to make their uranium, and so they jacked them up so they wouldn't spin, and or they were spinning
produce,
too
right?
hard. Yeah, and so they just stopped producing.
Simple, like the simplest little tweak,
And now
screwed up their.
The cool thing is now everybody else has Stuxnet, and they've reverse engineered it, and so they
awesome, right?
Yeah, it's really cool.
So
awesome.
So yes, you know, I know that these companies and everything have put in all these, but we see like time and time again, all these things are put in place and they get bypassed somehow. Somebody sticks a USB in there to look at kitty pictures.
Yep.
Boom.
I hope you mean cat pictures.
Kitty.
Yeah.
That's what the internet
Not
says.
KIDDIE.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Kitten pictures.
Kitten. Okay, there you go. Perfect.
Yeah, kitty. That's even
Great.
worse.
Great.
I hope you're not doing that at work or ever.
Yeah. IT
So
guys, I swear.
They're all dirty.
They're all dirty.
But yeah, there's all these power plants. You don't even have to drop a bomb.
No.
Just corrupt these power plants, and then you've got like nuclear bombs everywhere.
Yep.
It's freaky. Mess up networks like they can get into the healthcare system and cause you know, there's a lot of automated stuff. Like even like my mom recently has like a thing that's automated to inject after she's left the hospital.
No way.
Crazy. Yeah.
Wow.
So it's like time to give her that injection apart from her other medicines at a certain time. I'm like, hijack that, you know?
Jesus.
So all of these smart technologies, no matter what you say, they're all susceptible.
Yeah.
And also, not to mention just shutting them all down with an EMP of some sort.
Exactly. Yeah.
You know, power generation, transportation, like we rely so much on a power system that all you need to do is attack that. And then you've got total chaos. United States does not last long when they lose Twitter. Even the president struggles with this one.
Exactly. Yeah.
But, you know, all of our information, it's like, it's all numbers.
That's exactly. I was
we
going to
don't
talk
even
about
have
that later.
cash. Like it's a number, and that number can be changed as easy as just.
Well, like I think I said this down here somewhere. I'm like, really, your bank account is just ones and zeros. That's all it is.
Yeah.
It's just digital code.
It's freaky.
And so how hard is that? I mean, if that goes away, it's done.
Right.
It just doesn't exist.
Yeah.
You know?
So, I mean, even though I think this will be more intense in a cyber war, it's going to be part of war. And I mean, right now it's almost like we're constantly under attack anyway.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
So it's just going to, like, a lot of it's just, they're just testing the systems.
Mm-hmm.
They're casing the joint.
Exactly. It's an old-fashioned
They're figuring out how and where to attack.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's a guarantee that this is an attack plan by whoever. But yeah, you know, the one thing about cyber war is the effect that it will have across the world. So you think about, like, in a battle, you send all the soldiers, front lines, you still have your homeland and the economy and like things fueling that.
Yeah.
If you attack the heart, you know, like you're attacking the civilians without even being in a gun battle, like there's like no weapons and you can cause way more
you can have an army, but you can't resupply it anymore. You can't, you can't get
and
it.
how do you take out that enemy when they're in some bunker and they're using drone, like computers in different, like there's no way you can trace it back to them. So it's like you can't fight this very well. And I know like the United States is, you know, it's on their mind. I hope they're doing more about it, but there's no way around avoiding. You can't protect from all of it.
Yeah.
So it's a guaranteed massive problem, and if it gets to this, and it very well could. I mean, it's gonna devastate things. So you've got to expect to lose all those conveniences that you have and prepare for that. That's And I guess I was gonna do it later, but some of the ways that you can prepare against cyber attacks. Now we did the episode quite a while back.
The cyber survival episode, huh?
So, and there's a lot that goes into this, but just some key things on cyber survival. Did it not go into that? Right there? You know, I'm going to have to come back.
Okay, no, that's fine.
It didn't go into my notes.
But yeah, okay.
So anyway, cyber war, I think, is very well.
Absolutely.
I mean, it may be the most likely thing to happen.
Yeah. And like we said, probably going to be a combination of a bunch of things. We talked about last time how hard it is for
what is
for a foreign army to invade the United States, like in a land war, like a land invasion. But if that does happen, holy crap, that's not a fun scenario for us here, right? So what's going to happen if something like that does go on? One of the things that's going to happen is transportation is going to be limited or stopped. And it's really hard to tell exactly what might happen, but this is one of the things for sure that's going to happen. Transportation is going to be limited. That means, again, you guys, you have to have food and water preps no matter what. If it's a land invasion, it's still going to be the same old things you're prepping for most of the time. Food, water, medicine, all those things. It's crazy that it all comes back to this core group of things to prep for every single time, right? So civil unrest will probably be a huge issue if there's a land invasion. There's going to be martial law, maybe. We'll talk about this later. Or there could be military rule by this occupying force. You just don't know. I mean, is it going to look like Red Dawn where they like kind of take over and they have these internment camps and, we don't know. But if it happens, it's not going to be fun.
Right.
So you need to think about, your home base. It needs to be hardened. It needs to be safe. It needs to be secure. That's one of the first things you need to think about in this type of scenario. You need to have weapons to protect yourself, your preps, your family, your group, or whoever that might be. If you live in a large populated area, I mean, we talked about this all the time, but just get out. If you don't have to live there, don't live there because you are more likely to have an issue if there is a land invasion. A rural area is just going to be a little bit better. Communication, again, is going to be key. You have to have that emergency radio. Ham radio is going to be great, this alternate way to communicate with people and to get information. Because in this situation, you need to know where the enemy is, what the enemy is doing, what ground rules have been set up, where are the camps, and all these different things that might, pertain to you in this situation. You have to know all that. And without those communication devices, you're not going to be able to do it. I mean, is there bombing in your area? This is what would scare me, man. Are they just like carpet bombing?
No kidding. They could.
What are they doing?
Like, look at London, for example.
Yeah,
like,
it just got destroyed, man, 100%. So
they're still finding bombs.
what are you going to do? You just have to leave. I mean, you can get in your basement, but that's not going to do much, right? So, man, that's so scary.
It's almost like you can't hide.
You can't,
and that's terrifying.
Yeah, I mean, you're better off hiding in the mountains, I guess, at this point.
Yeah,
staying away from large population areas because they're not going to want to drop bombs where there's no people. So think
probably order a military uniform from every army right now.
Figure out which one to put on.
Get them all.
Didn't we talk about that? Getting a flag from every army that you put on your car when they invade. You know what I mean?
Hurry and flip it out there.
Exactly. Yeah. So you want to steer clear of hard targets in these situations because those are going to be the first things that get bombed or attacked or whatever. So those are going to be pretty obvious, but military bases, missile silos, power plants, any government center or place of business, large agricultural centers, communication centers, mining, oil. I mean, police stations might even get hit as well, because they just want it to be pure chaos down there.
Yeah, that's the way to do it.
And then you think, okay, I'm in a rural area. Are there targets there? There absolutely will be. So again, out where we live,
I know. That's what I was like. It's nice we're away from a lot of stuff, but
we
live in
huge
a unique area.
Gas and oil field, and so those would be pretty big targets.
Yeah, it's like perfect resources for an army.
Mm-hmm. Any natural gas plants or power plants, refineries, airports, even the small ones. Because the military is going to use these airports, and if the enemy can get rid of their airports, it's harder for them to move, right? Mining operations, obviously nuclear power plants, dams are going to be a big one. Don't be hanging out. Don't let that be your bug out location as a dam. Don't do it. Media outlets, newspapers.
Lots of water.
And
bunch of fish.
I got the best damn bug out location ever. I'll do it just for the jokes.
That jokes would go, yeah, that's what I'd do it for too.
You know what I mean? Media outlets, newspaper, television, radio, all those places will get hit. They don't want any communication going out.
We should do an episode on the worst bug out location.
The worst bug out location.
A dam.
Yeah. Nuclear power plant.
Walmart.
Well, that's not horrible.
Actually,
yeah. Any of the industry, aerospace, metals, manufacturing, commercial agriculture, all of those things. Stay away from those areas if there's a land invasion or if their air force is here, or whatever it might be. Stay away. Like I said, know your local mountains. Get out and explore it. If you know it, you're gonna have a hand up, just like Patrick Swayze and what's his name did.
Right.
They knew the mountains, so they ruled a roost up there. If you need to move, make sure you're doing recon so you can kind of see what's going on.
Right.
So there's this thing that most people say that, if they come to me, we have the Second Amendment. I got an AR-15.
Yeah.
I'm going to take on that army. Okay. I mean, fantastic and all, but unless you are ex-military or you're law enforcement or you have like a serious amount of training, you're just going to die. You're going to die really fast. And even if you do have those things, you're probably going to die.
Right.
Right. So
like the ones that have miraculously made it through this kind of scenario were like,
it's dumb luck.
It was like Revolutionary War. The bullet barely shot straight.
Yeah.
And I think that played in their favor.
Sure. Yeah. Uh-huh.
Now, no way.
So, I mean, this is obviously totally up to you. And if you've got, so much pride that you can't sit in your basement and try and stay alive,
you want to sit on your porch with your AK?
Go for it, man. But look, I'm going to take a defensive position where my preps are and where my family is. I'm going to hole up and I'm going to just try and survive.
Yeah.
I mean,
right.
I just let the military do their job.
Your chances are far greater.
You're far greater to live. So anyways, if there's an invasion, a land invasion, it's not going to be fun. It's going to be hard to prep for, but those are a few things that you can look for. And
I was talking to my brother about an invasion, and I'm like, as soon as they make it deep into like Mississippi and Georgia, they're going to be like, screw it.
This place is
we cannot fight these people. It's just like chaos. It's like fireworks and shotguns,
fireworks,
lifted trucks. Like,
yeah,
what is this?
This is crazy, man. Yeah, no, it would be kind of scary for an invading force for sure. But terrifying. I mean, I think if everybody is back, defending their place, then that's good enough.
Yeah.
I just don't think like, do you want all get your deer rifles, march in formation towards the enemy. Like, what are you gonna do? Like, this is not a good idea.
Crossbow.
Yeah.
You got your freaking compound bow and everything.
Yeah.
We're gonna take them.
We're gonna do this.
We're gonna fight them on the hilltops. We're gonna fight.
Yeah. Don't shoot till you see the whites of their eyes.
Exactly.
Let's go for it.
There's some jokes there that I wasn't going to use. So just some other brief things to consider. You know, and Kobe, I think, mentioned quite a few of these. If you have this massive, actually, am I too far down? You just did invasion, right?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, you're good.
I had to shift the notes around, so they got a little screwy. If the war's at home, or away from home, sorry. So like World War I, World War II, we're supplying and helping, you know, fight, defend, whatever. There's things that'll happen in the country. Talked a little bit about this in the last episode. Rationing may and probably will occur. You got to feed that army and all those involved. So it goes down to the supply chain gets broken and there's limited, you know, you can only buy one case of water.
Yeah.
You know, if you're prepping at that time,
That's not the
you're
time
gonna
to be
have
prepping.
you're gonna have to be probably going and getting a small ration every day.
Yeah.
The draft is a possibility of losing family members and others, and how the country operates. You know, you lose a lot of people there. The internment camps are always terrifying to think about. Whatever country we go to war against, you know, we have such a diverse population. There's going to be a lot of fear in those that are, you know, that are not a threat, but they just look to be the threat because they look like whatever country we're fighting.
Yep.
Economy change. You know, we used to have a really strong production. You know, we were self-sustaining. We don't have that system quite as well. I mean, we use other countries for a lot. So once that gets broken, it's like we got to shift all the ways that we do things to produce, you know, who knows, whatever ammunition stuff, if it comes to that type of war. We've got to change the production
be a
line.
shift in job type.
Your specialty will change completely.
Are you a social media manager? That's not going to be very useful in this situation. You might go make tortilla chips. You know what I mean? After that, like, you're just going to have to be doing something else.
You might be sewing britches for soldiers.
Exactly.
And then restrictions and curfews.
Yep.
You know, that goes down to the martial law, which Kobe will explain a little more on that. But all of your access to all the conveniences that we have is all going to change.
Yeah.
When it's, you know, definitely when it's war at home, but when it's away, it changes everything.
Yeah.
And if this war of this magnitude, you know, World War I was big, World War II is huge. It just gets bigger and worse. And
there's more people.
And no matter how many people we have to go into that war, everything has got to feed and sustain that, and it just changes.
Yeah. So talking about like the food part of it, so obviously food is a huge thing. We talk about it constantly. I don't know if we've gone through an episode. Yeah, it's great.
Pretty good. I like it.
Gonna have some here after this podcast. Yeah. But like you said, the resources are gonna be scarce. We're gonna have to be feeding this humongous army. Maybe the grid goes down. They're not delivering salsa anymore to Walmart, so you don't have that. So you have to have those preps like now, because you don't know when this is going to happen. Like Cam said, you can't go.
It's crazy how fast anything can happen.
Right? But talking about war and talking about food, during World War II, over 20 million people died from starvation or malnutrition. You know, and obviously that's a little bit skewed because of what they did to the Jews over there. That was not good,
but
right?
Still.
But much of that wasn't just the Jews.
Right.
It was other people. So food played a role in driving both Germany and Japan to war. America's dominance was not only a result of the United States' immense industrial production, but also its abundance of food. A central preoccupation for the governments of all the countries fighting was securing a food supply. Every sector of a country's war economy relied on the food sector. I mean, all of it.
It has to.
It all comes back to food.
It's weird because we have such an abundance of it.
Yeah.
And it's so easy to get that we just I can't even like think of how this would be, but that's what people have to, you know.
You have to feed an army. You know what I mean?
A lot.
There's yeah.
And every war, it found out that, wow. And that was, I mean, that's what saved Russia, really.
Yep.
You know, from the Germans, is they ran out of supplies and starved and froze.
It's not good, right?
And it's like crazy that can even happen.
So at least you need to be thinking about you and your family. Think about those food preps. Think about those water preps. And you're going to be much better off. right, Cameron?
Sure are.
Okay, good. Do you want to talk about caches?
Oh, you're not going to go into the whole.
I went through most of it there.
Wow, that was quick.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we've talked about cache and not C-A-S-H. Cache. C-A-C-H-E.
Yep.
Storing your items in strategic places is going to help. So in the event that your supplies are compromised, you lose your house. That was your primary bug out plan, is to stay put, and that's
Bug
the
in
easiest
plan.
plan. Yeah, bug in plan. Supplies could be stolen by looters or even your own government. They could take from you. So all these things that you've been kind of preparing, you could lose it all. Damaged by fire, terrorism, bombing. You have to, bug out, abandoned goods, things like that you got to consider. So a cache is a way to restock either along the route to get to a bug out location. We've talked about say you can, if you're going to be traveling by foot or even by vehicle, you have a certain limit. And we talked, I think, what was it, like a half a tank, or was it you see how far travel distance?
We tried, I think we said within a single gas tank at least.
Is that what it was, a single gas tank?
At least, so that at least you can get there.
Yeah.
Right?
So, you're going to have to travel gas stations, pumps, things like that. You're not going to be able to restock or resupply, especially if it's like an invasion or something. You're going to want to go away from all of those common traveled routes. So most often you're going to be on foot, and you want to strategically place a cache that has ammo, maybe some MREs, things that will keep you going. You can't carry all your stuff with you.
No, you can't.
So you want to have some of those things that, okay, this isn't a priority, but I want to have it when I'm out there.
Yep.
So you put it into cache, and money is a good thing to put in there. Additional medication if you have to have it, masks, and then we talked about like firearms in there, and you want to valuables, things that can be traded. You just never know. So this is a way to prepare that you're going to have an item that's secure. Like nobody's just going to randomly find.
Yeah,
they may, but
they're not going to be just digging holes somewhere.
Right.
Hopefully
first things first. This armor's going to just dig up everything.
Yeah.
So and ways to like prepare that cache. PVC is a great choice. You can get those big tubes and just you can glue the ends on, and it's safe from moisture and all that other crap. Metal cases, we talked about the different ones that you can prepare, and you can even buy ones that are made specifically for a cache. But those are just basics on having those things helps you prepare to get further and be, you don't have to rely on the last things possible. Like, I'm going to run out of food. I need to start hunting. You have these supply caches in different places.
It's a great backup.
It's just, that's
a great
exactly
backup.
It's just an
in
easy
case.
way to prepare and have it protected for a long period.
Yeah, that's great.
Like a time capsule.
Exactly. So I want to talk about physical fitness because, in this scenario, almost all of these, you need to be fit. I mean,
no matter what.
In everyday life, you should be fit anyways, but it's going to become more important, especially in World War III. I mean, do you need to bug out? Are you like hand-to-hand combat with Russians, or are your
neighbors?
Are you wrestling Chinese dudes? You don't know. Neighbors, yeah, exactly. Are you out doing stealth operations? Your body it's a prep. So you need to stay healthy. You need to stay in shape. There's just no telling what's going to come during this world war. I mean, if you have foreign armies invading, like Red Dawn style, you better hope that you can run a mile. I mean, you know what I mean? Like, you're going to have to. You might need to quickly bug out.
You don't want to get 1 mile in and tear your Achilles.
You don't want to be like, well, I guess I got to start running. You know what I mean? Like, it's not the time to start.
Yeah.
Like, you need to have already been doing it. And so I
sprained my hammy.
I think we've looked at this before, but the Army physical fitness test, right?
Yeah.
And I actually looked at it, and it's a little harder than I thought it was from what we talked about before.
World War II one, I've been meaning to post it.
Yeah, so
like
this
the basics
one,
of it.
so this is the one I think it's current, or it's close to current.
Yeah.
So there's 2 minutes of push-ups, 2 minutes of sit-ups, and then there's a timed 2-mile run. So if you are a male older than 22, you need to be able to do 31 push-ups in the 2 minutes. You need to be able to do 43 sit-ups, and you need to be able to do a 2-mile run.
2 miles?
Yeah, in 17 minutes and 30 seconds.
That's a mile for me.
Now you could do a mile under that, but
No, I could
break that
but I'd
down.
be pushing a mile
Yeah.
at like 15 minutes probably right now.
Yeah, it'd be tough. Yeah, so right now, it'd be tough to be in the Army.
It would.
So if you could at least do this right here, you should be at least somewhat fit enough to do the things you need to do.
Yeah, I agree.
Right. So I don't know. We might need to want to make this our goal, Cameron. By the end of the year, we can.
It's a good goal. I like it. Yeah. I think the World War II one. I think it was a little more intense. They've tweaked it.
Was it?
Mhm.
Was it in more? I thought it was
more
less intense than
I think
this.
it's more.
Really? Okay. So, anyways,
We'll have to see.
be thinking about that. Yeah, we'll look at it. Also, I'm including in the fitness section some sort of hand-to-hand combat training. I don't know what I was saying there. So something
Combat car.
like jujitsu, boxing, Krav Maga, all those types of things, so that if you're fighting with somebody in these situations, at least you have some, inkling of how to throw a punch or, not get killed in like 2 seconds.
yeah.
So you need to be thinking about that. I was also going to include overall health, but I think you're actually going to touch on that later, right, Cam? Like, medical and all those types of things, right? So moving on from that, this is the one I'm sure everybody's waiting to talk about, and that's weapons, right? And we've talked about this a little bit.
It's about time.
It's about friggin' time we talk about the firearms. So you absolutely need them in these scenarios. Absolutely, for sure. There could be rioting, martial law, civil unrest. You could have an invading army. You just don't know what's going to happen. You need to be able to defend yourself. All of these situations are going to be really unsafe, and so you need to have handguns, shotguns, assault-style weapons, whatever you're most comfortable with. Just have something, but you need to know how to use them. You can't just say, well, I got an AR in there. I haven't shot it yet, but I figure once the Russians invade, I'll start getting her out and testing it on them. I'll see what happens.
know.
It's not the best
I'll
idea.
set my sights when I'm shooting heads.
Yeah. Well, that guy, I missed him. Oh no, I'm dead. Yeah, you can't. you have to know how to do this beforehand. So if you have them, know how to use them, get trained professionally or just practice, at least be comfortable with using them, right?
And going back to old episodes of like our perimeter, get used to firing at these certain perimeters.
Exactly.
From your home.
100%.
Like I'd go start shooting right now from your house.
Yeah.
Get on top of the roof, start
100%.
figuring out.
Yeah. And then this part I actually already kind of went into is the offensive piece of it. A lot of people are just going to want to fight, but I'm telling you, an army full of guys with deer rifles and 22s is no match for any army in the entire world. So you just need to. I'm sure we're going to get blowback on this, but I don't care. Unless you're ex-military, law enforcement, I would just stay put, stay as safe as you can.
I agree.
Try and make it through. Keep your family safe, right? That's what obviously you don't have to listen to what we say, but that's my thing. You want to make sure you have plenty of ammo for these situations, obviously. So be thinking about that. And then, alternate weapons as well. You don't know how long this, conflict might last. So knives, bows and arrows, anything you can have is always good, Cameron. So
It's very good.
yeah. Hey, Cam, real quick. Did you know that most subscription boxes are full of samples and junk you'll never use? But not Battle Box. It's the monthly subscription box for men, full of solid gear for adventure seekers, survivalists, outdoor enthusiasts, and casual preppers. Each month, Battle Box sends you the coolest selection of handpicked outdoor survival and World War III gear, all valued at far more than you'd normally pay. You never know what's in the next box, but here's a sampling of what users received this month. This just barely came out today. The DEFCON 5 Zulu throwing knife set. Hey,
It's perfect for World War III.
perfect for World War III. The Survival Frog Quad Pro solar power bank with wireless charging. That's a pretty sweet little deal. And a parabolic mirror solar fire starter.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, cool stuff. All this badassness starts at about $30 a month. They've shipped almost 1 million boxes and won Best Men's Subscription Box of 2017. Casual Preppers listeners get a free tactical knife when you sign up at trybattlebox.com/casual preppers. That is trybattlebox.com/casual preppers. Get your first battle box plus a free tactical knife at trybattlebox.com/casual preppers.
Go and do it.
Get it.
We just tried out a bunch of their gear
We did, yeah.
again this weekend, or this last weekend.
Good times.
Way fun stuff. Froze our things off.
Yep, we did. 100%.
Yep. So, other things to get prepared for World War III is your medical supply. So federal survey shows 120 to 130 million Americans use prescription drugs.
That's a lot.
7 out of 10. Over half require 2 medications.
Yikes.
So get yourselves a lot more healthy, American.
Yeah. American is a...
If you're not in America, you're probably fine.
Probably.
So staying healthy, like Kobe said, the fitness thing, it's huge. Reverse disease, protection from disease. I mean, you don't want to develop colon cancer in the middle of World War III. You don't want it ever.
You just shit yourself to death. That's all that's going to happen.
During that.
Yeah.
You don't want to have a heart attack during that stuff.
No.
If you survive it, I don't know if it's better. So you want to get off these medications if you can. I know that there's times when you can't.
For sure.
You can't avoid your genetics. But a lot can be avoided with a healthy lifestyle, alternatives to prescription medications, because this is one of the things that's going to be affected immediately in a war. The production of prescription drugs. It's going to be nearly shut down. It's just not a priority.
And obviously that depends on the war.
Unless they're making Adderall full time for the soldiers. That's probably where it's going to be shifted.
Yeah.
But I mean, but there's countries all over that produce like insulins and stuff is out of Denmark. And, if Russia comes storming into Europe, it's going to affect the production there. It's just across the globe, no matter where the war starts, these prescription medications are going to be affected.
Makes sense.
So you need to work on getting like a 90-day supply of your prescriptions first. Second is stock up on the over-the-counter medications that you use the most. Like I'm going to have 2 or 3 cupboards of Pepto.
Just straight up Pepto.
Just drink it.
Antacids.
Every morning, just first dose of the day of something is just Pepto. But they're available now, and there's tons of them. So you might as well, get a couple bottles of ibuprofen and antacids, things like that. Keep up to date with your regular checkups, your physicals, immunizations, vision checks, dental. First thing that's going to happen, you're going to crack a tooth at the very beginning of World War III.
Probably.
And all the dentists are retired and they've got their compounds, make so much money.
They do make a freaking ton of money.
So they're going to be bugging out first thing by private helicopter.
Like them and Jeff Bezos.
And you've got a cracked tooth you got to deal with.
Yeah.
The best thing is prevention. Eating healthy now, working towards a better physical
Quit the
fitness.
Skittles.
Yeah.
No more Skitties.
Skittles.
Get the Snickies.
Only eat one Twix.
One Twix.
Don't double it up.
I get rid of all the red Skittles. Eat the rest of them.
Right. Go sugar-free on your Twix. Or not your Twix, your licorice. I think they have natural licorice.
Oh, gosh.
It's already just...
probably come straight out your butthole if you ate sugar-free licorice. Just like straight diarrhea.
I saw somebody post something that said Twizzlers just taste like melted grocery bags that have been squeezed through like a dispenser.
Really?
Like, whoa,
I don't mind Twizzlers.
It's like pure rubber.
But it does have a weird taste sometimes,
Take classes on some basic medical care and health, but people don't think that books are valuable. This is where they would be very valuable.
Yeah.
Having a book on different names, like the Tarascon Pharmacopoeia book I like because it shows the medication, the common brands, and all the generics. And you like, if you're, SOL and need a medication, you're going to have to find an alternative.
Yeah.
If you don't have a medical provider that deals with it or a pharmacist, you're going to have to figure it out yourself.
You might be scavenging and you don't know what's what. You got to have a way to identify that.
And basic things that we see every day, because we're conveniently available. When you're not, you're going to want to know, what do I do about this ingrown toenail? You can buy those books that just tell you basics, like Merck Manual. I think the Merck app has all medical things, and you don't have to subscribe or pay for it. It's free. Procedures for Primary Care is the book I like a lot. It shows you a lot of common things like removing a fish hook and fixing a broken, how to straighten a broken finger, things like that. But these books are valuable, and they shouldn't disappear. They're not going to be vaporized.
Hopefully not.
You will be if the books are.
Yeah.
But just get a book. Right. I mean, get a couple of books that are, if you don't have, whatever skill really, it's like medicine in this case, if you're not trained for it, get some books you can always read unless your eyeballs get burned out.
And then you're SOL anyway, so I wouldn't worry about it. That's great. So now you come to like the financial side. How do you prepare for like financially for World War III? I don't know. Here's some ideas, though. We'll see what happens.
All right.
So World War III hits. What's going to happen? There's a lot of different possibilities. One of those is going to be like super high inflation or even hyperinflation, which has happened in the past in some of these world wars. So like the war efforts get really, really expensive. So a lot of times the countries will just start printing money. And so what happens when you start printing money, you start to get inflation. So the prices for goods start to go up, and then the value of your money goes down. So that's basically what inflation is. So post World War I, this is kind of crazy. The German mark fell from 4.2 marks to 8.91 marks per dollar.
Wow.
So like half of its value went down. But paying for war reparations caused an economic collapse, with the exchange rate rising to 4.2 trillion marks per dollar by the end of 1920. I think that's trillion. There's so many zeros I can't even read it.
Yeah.
The rate of inflation was
I'm not Zuckerberg, so I don't know.
3,250,000% per month. By mid-1923, workers...
How does that percentage even...
I don't even know. By mid-1923, workers were being paid as often as 3 times a day. As soon as the workers got paid, they'd rush to buy goods before their cash became worthless.
Oh, my gosh.
So I'm not saying that's going to happen, but it's happened before.
Oh, yeah. The dollar's fallen. And
yeah.
And then, other countries, I've seen it devastate.
Yeah.
Like even as simple as Brazil, they had some issues with presidency and stuff. And the dollar became 4 times the amount. So I was like, sweet.
Yeah, it's good for you.
It's on me, $10.
Yeah.
But if you're the other way around, that sucks.
That's bad. So this is obviously not good, in these situations. So this means when it comes down to it, it's hard to prep for this because cash isn't always the best option to have in these situations. Really, it's real assets that are going to be more valuable. That's like food, that's real estate, that's precious metals, it's fuel. I mean, anything like that is going to be much more valuable in an inflation or a hyperinflation scenario. So, we talk about this quite a bit, is debt reduction, on the financial side, always reducing your debt. And that is really great if you've done this before something like this happens. But if it gets into World War III and you still have a couple $1,000s in debt and you're like, I better pay it off real quick, and the financial system is going nuts, it might not be the best idea at that point to pay off your debt, right? You may want to, either use that cash to buy stuff or keep it in case you need to use it, because at that point,
or hope that bank gets destroyed.
Yeah, don't deal with your debt at that point. Keep it and try and get some goods and survive.
Chaos, like bombs going off.
You're writing
planes,
a check for
and there's a teller. Alrighty.
Honestly, it probably would happen.
Yeah, it probably would happen. That's all about collection.
They're going to be in their hazmat suits, next, please. And so also, financially, have skills to barter in case you need to get stuff, and make sure, what you have stored, if you have cash, if you have gold or whatever it is, that it's safe. Do you have a fireproof safe? Is it all in the bank? Because the bank is obviously good right now, but if there is a financial system collapse, this is what we talked about. Your money in the bank is ones and zeros. That's all it is.
Yeah, they don't have it there.
They have some money there, but they don't have everybody's money there.
Right.
And so it's a good thing to have money on hand and have assets on hand in these situations.
Yeah.
So, yep.
Transportation. There's a lot of this that I'm not going to go into detail, so don't be disappointed if I don't talk about some cool bug out vehicles.
There's just a lot to go into.
There's way too much.
So we're trying to at least hit parts of it all.
Yeah. So number one, again, you need to be fit because you're going to be the primary transportation.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
that's sad.
You always have to fall back to that.
Yeah.
So you need to be able to carry your bag and your fat butt around. So get it figured out now. Simple transportation, bikes, scooters, e-bikes, all that crap.
Skateboards.
Skateboards, hoverboards.
Rollerblades.
Yeah, seriously.
Hoverboards.
I need to get some tactical rollerblades.
I want a tactical hoverboard.
That'd be
pretty
better.
sweet, yeah.
But these things sound kind of ridiculous.
Pogo sticks.
But having... So yeah, some of the simplest transportation will be very nice to have.
For sure.
A simple bike, you're going to be glad because fuel costs money. Fuel is going to be restricted. So that's one thing. You may have the coolest bug out vehicle in the world, but if you can't put gas in it, it's no good. And that's going to be a problem during a world war is the limitation on fuel, whatever it be, diesel, gas, propane,
natural gas,
I need to get a propane scooter.
nuclear. Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Nuclear powered scooter.
Powered hoverboard.
I'm going to drop the core in now.
Just go down to the gas
Temperatures
station
look good.
and buy plutonium.
You got to get a...
Tell me this sucker's nuclear?
You got to get to the Back to the Future to drop banana peels.
I know,
and
at the end. What was it called? Like Mr. Fusion or something? And a little bit of
So I'm waiting for that to be created. So yeah, and if you have a good bug out vehicle and you have your fuel system figured out, make sure it runs well and you got good tires and it can travel far. And it doesn't have to be a Hummer. If you have a good quality family van,
Hyundai,
make sure it's running good.
Datsun.
Yeah, a Datsun.
Yeah,
those are a good little pickup.
Yeah.
But when it comes down to transportation, make sure you have several options. Bikes are always great because you can attach them to whatever.
Bicycles,
yeah. Unicycles even easier.
Oh, yeah.
You don't have to deal with two wheels.
Less to deal with.
No tubes or anything. Just watch out for puncture weeds.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, that's the basics of transportation. I know there's a lot there that you guys are probably disappointed. I'm sorry.
Blackhawks.
Yeah. Little bird, helicopter.
Aircraft carriers.
Yeah. Those are, man. I had one once. Aircraft carrier.
Did you?
Sold it, and I wish I wouldn't have.
You got to hold on to those things when you get them. Classic.
Hovercrafts. That's just a great one.
Yeah.
Cybersecurity, ways to prepare for that. We've talked about how you need to back up everything. You don't want everything
back that ass son.
Online.
All right.
Not available offline. Like you need to have a backup of it all. Back that. Watch your mouth. This is cybersecurity.
All right. Sorry about that.
Consider using a VPN now. The more invisible you are online now, the better it is. If
nobody
a cyber
knows
attack,
I'm online.
Yeah,
I'm invisible.
Go to your chat and put offline. Tricks everybody.
You're good. Don't worry about it.
The VPN, it's block. Basically, it cloaks your IP so people can't follow because your computer has an its own IP address. This just blocks it. So if you're going through a VPN, it's a private network, and then you go from there out to the internet.
Very complicated. You can go scientific.
Yeah, it's great. It's got a bunch of colons and numbers. Yeah. You'll never know.
Colons.
No semicolons, colons.
Yeah, full colons.
Yep, full of all kinds of stuff. Copy your credit cards, debit cards, loans, everything like that on paper so that you have the numbers to call. Yeah. Copy your cash. Like start printing it now.
Start printing.
Do you lose a dollar bill?
Both sides.
Yeah. Construction paper works pretty good.
It's great.
It's pretty close to the same color.
I copied all our cash, baby. Put it in the safe.
I've got it all. But you can put all that stuff on a PDF and store it on a thumb drive, and it's not connected to the internet. Safe. No. And you can access it as long as you're no EMP. Other things is keep devices updated. Like make sure you get your security patches installed. I guarantee you Windows will install one when you need to use your computer at any given point. So malware, adware, virus. Like adware.
That's what you said. Adware.
Malware, adware. These are obviously Russian.
Virus. Software.
Viruses.
Software, adware. Malware.
I got like a little German.
I don't know what's going
adware.
On. Adware.
I took 2 adware yesterday and my throat
my headache's gone now.
So yeah, install these and use them. They're there, and there's a lot of free ones.
They're adware.
They're very good there. Vodkaware. Web browsers. DuckDuckGo. Did you see they just won a bid to be on Android's selection for web browsers, which is nice.
Cool.
So your search engine, you can switch over to DuckDuckGo. What does that do? So instead of using a VPN, which is more secure, but a VPN slows down your internet connection a little bit, no matter what they say.
Yeah.
And you have to pay a subscription. DuckDuckGo free.
I love that.
Goose.
Good price.
But what it does is it doesn't track your browsing. So it's a good one if you're married. Is use DuckDuckGo. But so if you look at panties, it's not going to pop up all day long on the ads.
What's this DuckDuckGo? thing?
Nothing.
That just
It's a kid's game.
yeah.
But so you don't have all the ads following you. It doesn't see what you're shopping for and buying. You know, if you buy a bunch of guns, it's not going to pinpoint you. Yeah,
guns.
this is the guy that bought a bunch of guns.
Yeah.
Tashonk ads every 5 seconds.
I am sick of them.
I know. So DuckDuckGo is nice, and it's actually available today on your Android or I think Apple. You can switch to it too.
Nice.
You can use the app itself, but I switched to it today, and I'll be honest, I started searching for that. I sent you that picture from the Burbs.
Oh, yeah.
I could not find it.
Oh, really?
It's not as good of a search engine, but at least I won't get Burbs ads all day.
That's the worst.
So anyway, cybersecurity, do it today.
So we talked a little bit about civil unrest, martial law, crime. All of these things are going to be an issue probably in a World War III. So Cam, what is martial law? Do you know?
It's a long story.
It's a long story.
Basically, government taking power over civilians. I don't know.
So
an easier way to put it.
A temporary state of government wherein curfews, the suspension of civil law, civil rights, and habeas corpus are suspended, and the application of military law is extended to civilians. So this is something that absolutely could happen in a world war.
So like our great ancestors, habeas corpus?
Yeah.
Are,
habeas corpus.
it was the first human being.
Yeah. So, they're going to suspend rights like your Second Amendment right, the right of the press. There's going to be curfews. They can arrest you for any reason without seeing a judge. There could be FEMA camps set up. All the preppers know about the FEMA camps, right? So listen to, I think we did it in episode 23, Surviving Martial Law. We go into a ton of stuff in this, but the basic
That was
overview,
a cool episode.
It was a fun
I didn't know
episode.
that much about martial law.
So the military or government will probably take over all supply chains, food, water, medical, everything. So that's why you have to have this prepared now. You need to have a bug out plan because if martial law isn't going to be like, it's mostly going to be in confined areas like with large populations, right? So if you can get out of there, they're not going to, impose martial law up at the lake probably. So, you can try and bug out.
Yeah. Unless it's a national park. They
Exactly.
already have martial law there.
Definitely, yeah. So you need to have communications, but the government will probably control the media at this point as well. So they're only going to put out the things that they want out. But you still need to be listening because you want to know what information you need to have from them, like where you can and can't go, and what the curfews are, and all those types of things. During these times, shut up.
Yeah.
Just shut up.
That's going to be real hard.
Don't be like, well, I'm American.
Yeah.
I don't want no martial
I'm
laws.
going to sit on this deck and hold my shotgun.
Yeah, don't do it. Just shut up.
Yeah.
Let them do what they're going to do.
Like it really isn't, it makes it sound all bad, but
sometimes it's not 100% bad.
Exactly.
Right?
It's going to suck.
Yeah.
But it will protect
Yeah.
civilians
Exactly.
from each other.
Also, shut up. Don't let everybody know that you have these preps. If there's like food lines, ration lines, go if you can.
Yeah.
Get those. You'll be less of a target. If you're the one in the neighborhood that isn't going to the bread lines or to the Red Cross camp to grab food, everyone's going to be like, "Well, why is he not going?" And then one night they're going to be hungry and they're going to know you got a bunch of freeze-dried Skittles in your basement and they're going to come down and try and get them.
Yep.
So,
this is where
think
a
about it.
cache comes in
Cache is-
handy.
again, yes.
You could have your corn nuts stored up on the mountain.
Yeah. Perfect. Okay, so that's martial law. Crime. Is crime going to rise in World War III? Probably. The Second World War
It went down in the U.S.
well, in the U.S., yeah, but it's all it depends.
It does.
It varies. So in the Second World War, it was a golden period for British crime. Between 1939 and
British crime.
British crime. The BBC reports in 1939 and 1945.
This is...
Reported crimes in England and Wales rose with an increase of 57%. So a huge increase, right? Obviously,
why don't you keep your looting to yourself?
the blackout and the bombs, there was tons of murder, rape, robbery, burglary, theft, all that stuff went crazy because there was no power. Everything was dark all the time. It's already dark there anyways all the time. It's just raining and The queen was mad. I don't know. It was
I'm
bad.
depressed. It's
Yeah.
time to go loot.
There's a lot of looting, a lot of gang activity. The black market was nutty. Lots of robberies, like we said. So you might have to be prepared for this. It may not happen here. Like Cam said, it did go down in some areas.
Just basically because of
Everybody's
like the
working.
youth was being put to work and to. But yeah, most likely it's going to get worse. It always gets worse.
Yeah. So think about security again at your home. Security system, defense weapons. Harden your doors, your door jambs, and your
muscles.
locks, your muscles. Get those.
Harden your abs.
Bang out some sit-ups. You're gonna be fine. Put some annoying shrubs around your windows to make it really hard to get in. Lights and fences around your house. Big
Take
dogs.
over this town. Oh,
Yeah.
it's really hard.
This is a willy hard. I'm
There's
not gonna do
bushes
that.
in there.
So, there might be riots too because of this and civil unrest. We know how to get through those. Get your Genkos, get your hook hand, and just don't worry about it. You're going to be fine. Basic preps again. First aid kit and skills are going to be super
Come
important.
to the door and Jenko's in a hook hand. Can I help you, officer?
Yeah. And stay away from the riots. Stay away from crowded places. Keep informed on what's going on. Again,
Teach your
communication.
kids. Stay out of riots.
Yeah, exactly.
Stay away from riots. Say no to riots.
Say no. Just say no. Gas masks, again, in riots could be a big thing because of, the tear gas and all those types of things. Hand-to-hand combat skills, fitness, weapons, all good for these things. Know your town, right? You don't want to try and escape a riot while also trying to look it up on Google Maps. Like, it's just not a good idea. So if you know that already...
There's a riot on 5th Street and there's a riot on 8th Street.
Well, Google's saying there's something going on in this area. Oh, it's a riot.
I knew it.
So anyways, you need to worry about civil unrest, crime, and martial law. All could be consequences of World War III.
So, yeah.
I think that's about it.
That is.
We went through
That's
a lot of stuff.
I know. I know it's overwhelming.
You're gonna
but
be
guess
fine.
what? You can rewind.
Yep.
And you can re-listen.
Mm-hmm.
And don't miss any of these details.
Don't. Do
Every
it again.
single one of them. But guess what?
What?
I got something for you. If you're a casual prepper
Mm-hmm.
or an outdoor adventurer, World War III survivalist or preparer, you need a Survival Boxes subscription. Survival Boxes are packed with practical survival gear. 15 to 25 year shelf life, storable meals, survival water or filtration supplies, a monthly survival knowledge card, or even non-GMO heirloom seeds for your survival garden or victory garden.
Victory Garden.
Starting at just $29 per month, choose a survival box that fits your outdoor adventuring lifestyle or casual prepping plan. Subscribe today, and Survival Box will send your survival gear and
Send
supplies to help you stay survive.
Tweet yourself.
Survival Boxes values always beat Amazon cart values, and there are no contracts. You can cancel whenever, anytime. Don't forget to use promo code Casual Preppers for 10% off your first box on any monthly subscription.
That's key. You got to do that.
Yeah. Plus, Casual Prepper listeners will also receive a survival knowledge card complete
Car?
set.
You said car.
I don't know. I said 700 words wrong right here.
Okay.
And bonus survival gear item in your first survival box. Subscribe today at survivalboxes.com.
Do it. Before World War III hits, just do it.
Yeah.
All right.
You're going to be happy you have all that stuff that's already done for you in a box.
Well, that's what we got today, right?
Yeah. Unless you want a medical tip.
Should we just hold it for the next one?
Yeah, let's hold it for the next one.
Okay, I love it.
You're going to like it, though, because
Or do you
it's
wanna do
a
it?
medical supply kit for women. I haven't ever really been...
Cool.
I've always been sexist about all my
Well,
medical
we're probably going to have to give it to him now.
Okay,
Cam.
I'll do
It's
it.
time for the quick and dirty medical tip.
So I'm just going to go real quick here. So a medical supply kit for women.
I like that.
Already?
Yeah.
Because women are different than men. There's some different
Don't
things
tell that to
and
people.
different parts.
Don't say that
That's
to
true. You can't
people.
even say that nowadays.
No.
So I like the first. So this list came from the Wilderness Survival book.
Oh, good.
First item on the list: calendar to keep track of your menses.
Does it really say that? Wow.
Supplies and devices. We talk about this like pads, tampons, menstrual cups, towelettes, plastic disposal bags, matches. Yeah.
Well, that's a
Cover up the stink.
That's one I've never heard.
I know.
Babe, do you got mattress and tampons? It's that time of the month.
But premenstrual symptom medication, ibuprofen and all of those NSAIDs are like the best thing to have. So Advil and
My wife is just
Midol.
Dr. Pepper.
Oh, wow.
That's just Dr. Pepper.
Okay, well, if it works, get you.
Yeah, just
you
Dr.
probably
Pepper.
should start stocking up on that.
Yeah.
They have the powder too.
Do they have Dr. Pepper powder?
I'm pretty sure because they have
Wow.
7-Up.
Wow.
You remember the gum that was 7-Up had goo
I
in the
do.
inside?
I loved it. I loved it.
So urinary issues, get some sterile towelettes, funnels so that urination can get away from the body. So that'll help you.
Well, they have
prevent-
the what's it called? The thing where the
little pee cup
ladies
thing.
can pee standing up. Out in wilderness.
That's what this little funnel thing is like a rigged up thing. Vaginitis is common, so you can get pH paper.
My friends get that all the time. Vaginitis.
So get some self-treatment medications.
I swear that my friends would say that to each other in high school.
Yeah, I know.
We got vaginitis.
Want to
or
get some Vagisil?
Vaginitis.
But yeah, like those things that are available over the counter.
Yeah.
You want to pick them up today. Contraception, there's other options instead of having a birth control pill. You can get sponges and you can get
Condoms.
diaphragms, things like that.
Yeah.
You never know.
Or
You could still hook up
they ever popped
in
the
the
pull-out
apocalypse.
method.
Yeah. Don't plan on a guy following through with that one very well. Menopausal issues like heat, hot flashes, things like that. There's a lot of different medications and they're not that available.
Heat hot flashes.
Heat, hot flashes.
Heat. Oh.
The diagnosis code's heat flushes.
Oh, is it really?
I'm like, that's weird. Anyway, things that you go through if you don't know. I haven't ever been through menopause, but there's a lot of issues. There's stress incontinence. So you start peeing your pants.
Yeah.
So you want to get some pads for that.
Yeah.
And there's also a thing called atrophic vaginitis. So once the hormones stop, then everything starts getting dry.
Yeah.
So moisturizers, lubricants, which actually promotes health and prevention of infection too. Pregnancy supplies, you never know. You want a blood pressure cuff. You can get the glucose and protein strips. Like they always check your urine when you're checking for pregnancy.
Yeah.
This would be huge to have. Helps with knowing if you have preeclampsia, like the blood pressure issues during pregnancy. These are all available. You don't have to go to your doctor to get these. You can order them. And you can get the strips for urinary tract infections too. So
Cool.
they're always nice to get.
Yeah.
Other supplies real quick, breast pump, nipple cream.
Why are you laughing?
I don't know. Like, it's just funny how they just go right to like self-treatment mastitis. That's a common thing that women get with pregnancy. So infection, you want to have those basic antibiotics, moxicillin, Cipro, things like that. And then pepper spray. Women like to get attacked.
They love it. They love it.
So self-defense, like alternative ways, because I know women think they're tough nowadays, but a male's typically going to overpower them. So you got to have defenses with pepper spray, a taser.
A gun.
What's the one little thing we got from? It's a stun gun.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, anyways, this may or may not be helpful to you. This came straight from the wilderness medicine supply kit, though.
Good. I like it. That's good stuff. Appreciate it,
I
Cameron.
guess. I don't know.
Nipple
It
cream.
made me blush.
He said nipple cream. Thanks, guys. Appreciate that.
That's
Appreciate
a long
you guys.
episode, and I
Yeah.
doubt anybody listened to that end part.
No, they got it. They're loving it, man. If you got this, let Cam know. Send him a message. Let's send him a message and make him feel better about
female
himself.
kit. Hey, it's Valentine's Day. Maybe you can get this kit ready for your loved one.
Yeah. It's almost Valentine's Day.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Thank you so much. Stay survived.